You don't want that already. It's raining, you know, like you can't come out because it's raining.
I was excited to get up. I was like,
I love when it rains. My dogs not so much. They're looking outside. They're like,
Oh,
my dog was like, let's go for a walk. I'm like,
no.
no. I don't have an umbrella.
This
It
was-
covers you.
yeah, this was the we go in the backyard.
Right. Okay, it's 9:30. Class starts at 9:30. Can I begin?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So who knows, maybe people will show up late. Doesn't matter. We're gonna start, we're gonna get going, we're gonna learn, we're gonna have fun today. Did you guys notice I didn't send you an email last night?
yeah.
Or for the day before?
Yeah, that was
Did notice
nice.
actually.
That's nice.
Oh,
You guys were like, woo, nothing, I'm so happy.
I almost like emailed
Is joining us today?
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
We were wondering if anyone else is coming.
Bring my night book?
No, I didn't bring it.
Okay, I'll give you this. Christine was supposed to be coming, so I printed it out for her, but you're here, so I'll just use that. If you just, don't write notes on it,
Don't not
because I can give you another one, but just in case.
No, I won't write any
Okay.
notes on that. Sorry. Okay.
So, yeah, so basically the reason I didn't send you guys the email is your email would have just said, keep doing your homework, take the Lee Potts open house class. So Gabriella, have you taken that class yet?
The open house class now.
Yeah, Lee Potts. Okay, so if you're gonna do open houses, you're gonna wanna take that class.
Okay.
Especially because a lot of the teams, like when you walk up to them and say, can I do your open house? The first question they say is, have you taken Lee Potts class yet? So they want you to go through that training. Have you taken
Okay.
that
No,
class?
where
Okay.
is it?
Is
Where
that
is it?
virtual or?
So, no, that is in the classroom. He did his class this month, so it's gonna be January, just an FYI. You can still usually finagle yourself into the open houses with the teams and stuff, just let them know that if you're gonna take it. So, it's not scheduled on January quite yet, but when you see it show up, it'll be Lee Potts open, I think Open Housing for Fun and Profit is the title.
Okay.
It's the only open house class that we offer regularly. So you guys want to take that class. The other reason I held off on the email is because we had that discussion about Facebook and what you can and cannot do. And so it was very interesting because I'm talking to Michelle Del Rosario. You guys know who she is?
Yeah.
She's your principal broker. So she's basically the one who's in charge of compliance, laws, rules. Like she's the direct connect to like Hawaii Association of
She
Realtors,
knows her
like,
stuff,
what's
yeah.
legal, what's not. So she's the one I call. So I called her and I said, okay, this discussion came up because I was thinking about it after class. And I'm like, we need some clarity around this, like really understanding what we're supposed to be doing. And she goes, yeah, because a lot of people are doing what they're not supposed to be doing. I was like, okay, so let's get some clarity. So once I get from her the actual, she's gonna get the information so that I can send it to you guys. So that would be the
Perfect.
piece.
And that's on what we can post and stuff. Okay.
What you can, what the compliance is, because I know the conversation came up of if it's another office, so technically you have to put the other office's name,
right.
don't have to put the agent. So we're gonna come up with what do you legally have to do and what does Keller Williams consider best practices? Because there may be certain things that you don't legally have to do, but Michelle says that we're gonna do this because we're an ethical company and we do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we wanna talk about like, what are the actual rules around
Will you
this?
get fined for violation and stuff
You
like that?
can, and I don't know exactly how that whole thing works, so the big question with social media that's so interesting is it marketing, and at what point does it become marketing? And if it becomes marketing, then you have certain rules about your logo of the company has to be visible, so there's all this stuff that ends up coming up.
License number.
Right, so it's like, but if that's on my Facebook page, does that count, or if it's a separate thing, does it have to be?
Yeah, each individual.
And
post.
she even wanted clarity, because she said, well, if you can print it separately, then it really is considered a marketing piece. So she's getting clarity around that. I'll be honest with you, I don't know that the clarity 100% exists, because social
Right.
media is also
Right.
new for, you know,
Everybody.
for
And they
NCR
all do.
and yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like they're trying to keep up with the rules and what's happening. So I wanted to get real clear on that, and I felt that was the biggest piece that I wanted to share with you guys. So you will get that email from me. Other than that, you've had plenty of emails, and hopefully you're saving them all, because I'm telling
Yes,
you
I
what's
do
going to
have
happen
them
is, as you start doing real estate work, you're going to go, oh wait, we talked about that in McKnight, and you can go back and reference all that stuff, right? So that's very much your reference materials. Other than that, how is everybody doing? Calls,
Good.
homework,
Good.
yeah, things are going well. Any challenges since I saw you on Wednesday? Anything come up?
I talked to a friend on the phone
Yes.
who's huge into sales, and I like read him a couple of my scripts, and he made the script sound like the way he just said, these don't get my attention in the first 15 seconds. He's like,
Okay.
I'm done.
So let me ask you a question. How much money does he make every year?
A lot.
Okay, so you wanna make sure that your source that you're asking for advice from is valid, right?
Okay.
So that's always my first question, because you will get advice from everybody. I had a client come to me, who's one of my coaching clients, and he said, I had somebody ask me, why do I have a coach in real estate? I don't need a coach. I said, are they a realtor? He said, yeah. He said, they make a lot of money? No. Don't
Like,
listen.
there you go.
Like, that's your answer, like, don't listen. So, good that you had that. So you read him the whole script, and he said he didn't like the script.
Yes,
He felt like it didn't get his attention.
exactly. Yeah.
So what did he recommend that you do instead?
Rewrite it
Interesting, okay.
and
So,
change. Just something to grab your attention right off the bat.
and what does he sell?
He does. You ever heard of Grubhub?
Yes, is that the delivery?
Yeah.
So
Okay,
he
so-
sells like
Like-
Grubhub to major companies like in New York City
Okay, got it.
and stuff like that.
So he's a B2B,
A B2B.
not a B2C. In other words, he works with other businesses, not consumers.
Yeah.
Okay, so just so you know, I didn't write these scripts.
Yeah.
Like, the Ignite scripts are written by people who have $1 million real estate businesses and know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say trust them, because they, first of all, they also take into consideration DISC. So what personality style was your guy?
I don't know the whole disc thing.
Okay. So you'll get into that in a little more detail when you go through your DISC and stuff. But the thing about our scripts is they really do they work with all personality styles, but there are certain, now keep in mind, Ds are an interesting personality style, and that person may be a D.
Okay.
So sometimes when people are, D is a driver, they can be very highly successful people. It's only 3% of the population.
Okay.
They're very like, get down to it. Like, if you just call them up and say, do you wanna buy or sell real estate? They're like, nope, but thanks for asking. Like, that's what they want, like,
They went to the point.
yeah, like, to the point, don't mess with me, just give me this straight up. So they don't always love the scripts, that personality.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is we can't write scripts for 3% of the population, so that may be one reason. C may be a D. Other than that, I go with, I love the scripts because they give me a basis. The alternative to the scripts is doing something yourself, which often we fumble, we say things that we shouldn't, so we don't sound professional. So I feel like the scripts help us sound more professional.
Okay.
But that being said, it's your real estate business, you gotta do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you for that.
Whenever I have made a phone call to a for sale by owner or an expired and thought I could just do it without my scripts, I went totally down a rabbit hole. So it's good to have it at least in front of you and look at it and, memorize it first, internalize it, and then you can customize it.
Do you know it like word for word?
Well, I've tweaked mine a lot. You'll
Okay.
see that in my buyer consultation that I'll show. But if you're not doing the script, you're just gonna start babbling on, and then you really lose the attention of your audience to, cause their main focus is to get the appointment.
Yeah.
And once you go off script, you're just like, da 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 da. And it's happened 100% of the time that I didn't follow my scripts,
Okay.
so.
They keep you,
Yeah, it gives you structure.
Mhm.
yeah, pretty pointed, so. And not everybody's gonna love them,
Yeah.
and that's okay. But thank you for bringing that up,
Yeah.
because it comes up.
I mean, some people use them and some people don't, right?
The highly successful people all have scripts.
Okay.
They absolutely all have scripts. Like, conversation about Dave Norberg, right? Like, his scripting is just killer. So what we find is very interesting. We'll get people who'll come through the door and they're like, I want to sell real estate, just tell me how to sell real estate. We'll hand them the script, they'll go, great, I'm gonna use that script, and they go out and they use that script and they have success. And then we have people that walk through the door that say, I wanna sell real estate, and you say, okay, good, here's the script, and they go, I'm way more creative than this, and I can say way better things than this, and I'm gonna switch this around. And they spend more time switching the script around and trying to figure out what to say right, while the other guy's out there selling the real estate. So you sometimes have to watch. See, you've been in the business for how long?
6 years.
Okay, so your script's evolved.
Right.
Correct?
Yes.
Do you practice your scripts?
Yes. Script and role play every day. So,
Every day.
Every day.
Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And on the weekends sometimes because it just
So
happens.
Jessica's here because she's going to do her buyer's presentation for you guys.
Yay.
Yeah, which is going to be really exciting. But the reality is, I'll show you the highly successful people. They start with a script and they will fine tune it for their. There's always nuances, right? If you have a word in a script that you just never say and you're stumbling over it all the time, flip the word, like make it a word you'll use.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is, though, they use those scripts because they work, and over time, this business, like. If in your real estate business you're not slightly bored, you're probably not doing it correctly. Like, that's the reality, right? There's gonna be days you're gonna be like, I just sit here calling people for 3 hours a day. This is boring. I'm doing it right. Seriously, that's like Nicole was right, I'm doing it right. Because if you go, well, this isn't fun, I wanna do something else, great, but that other thing is not gonna generate you business. And it's not gonna move you forward and make you money. That's just the reality of the business that we are in. So knowing your scripts makes you really clean and clear. And what's the best is watching, like, so let me ask you, when you watched Adam do his listing presentation,
Wasn't here.
oh, you missed it.
Yep.
Dang it. And the video was, we tried something new with the video and it didn't work. But you got the email.
Yes.
So that has him doing it with me. So watch that.
Okay.
And again, that it's all scripted stuff that he has taken pieces and put together. That's probably what yours is
He
going to be.
practices every morning too. Before we get to the office, he gets his postcards, and the index cards, and he reads it the whole thing every morning. Same thing every single morning.
Okay.
So then he knows it, and when he gets in front of somebody, he seems like he's professional and organized. Whereas if you show up and you don't, and you're kind of disorganized, so just keep in mind, this is real estate. For most people, it is their largest asset. If you do not, to some degree, present yourself in a way that you are knowledgeable and sound professional, you will not get clients. Because they need to know that you know what you're doing. And the way, it's funny, because new people, it's like their biggest fear is often, I'm gonna sound like I don't know what I'm doing. But then you give them a script and you're like, just learn this, and they're like, no, that doesn't work for me. And I'm like, wait, so we solved the problem for you right here, but then you wanna go and create, like, I can do it better myself, but why? This avenue will take you time, energy, effort that you don't have. Like, just focus on doing the business. Do the business. Get on the phone with, same thing with open houses. Like, I had a script. My open house script has evolved over doing over 100 open houses, right? Like, it evolves. I see things shift and change. And I haven't done an open house in the longest time. One of my last open houses, I think I was talking to you about that. So, it was the lady that came in, it was a caravan open house. It was a last minute, will you hold this open house? So I held the open house. The lady walked in, showed her property the next day, she bought that open house. 3 people came in that day. One of the other groups that came in, they're in escrow on a property right now. The 3rd group is looking next month. That's converting 3 in one open house. Trust me, if I hadn't done 100 before that one, I would not be good enough with my scripts and what I need to say. So it's okay for it to evolve over time, but make sure it's evolving with how it's working and you're starting with something. Because I really think if you solidly know your script from the beginning, it evolves faster, right? So like if you script practice every day, okay, so the difference is you can script practice every day or you can script practice on clients. Which one's gonna get me there faster?
Right.
Yeah, right? Because then when I say it to the client, I know what I'm talking about, and they're like, oh, she knows her stuff. Right? You sound professional. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a matter of just work them. If you don't find one you like, find a different one. Like even when we do objections today, we're gonna talk about our different kinds of ways of objecting to things. You'll find different scripts that work for you.
Okay.
So like you'll be like, okay, that one didn't work. Like do some research, go into Connect, find a different script that's like awesome, and you're like, now that makes sense to me, right?
Yeah.
So do the research and find the scripts that work for you. Just don't recreate the entire script, because Unless you're already making millions of dollars, your current scripts aren't working. Right? It's like, that's the key, is are your current scripts working? All right, so today we're going to work on find and win the buyer. All right, we're going to talk about,
One thing,
yes.
can you show me where all the scripts are?
You should have a script book. If you don't have a script book that would have come in the front of it, yeah, I have some.
Okay.
It might be in the back, cause mine was in the back.
Oh, was it in the back?
Yeah, there
There
we
you
go.
go.
Alright.
That'll help.
There's a few.
Yeah, there's a few scripts.
So,
There, we solved the problem. That's awesome. I love that.
alright, I didn't
Okay.
know that was in there.
Yeah, that's a really important one. Okay, so we're gonna talk about where to find buyers to work with, how to qualify and schedule buyers for the consultation, how to conduct the buyer needs analysis to find the right homes, and close for the buyer agreement. All right. So. Oh, and establish next steps. That's always good. Let them know what's going on. All right, so did you guys watch the buyer's consultation on the mission by any chance?
I didn't.
I did not.
No comment.
No comments. That would be a big old no. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that for you guys. It's part of the Mission 7 homework, so feel free to go back, watch that. It'll be in your missions, which you guys have, and you have plenty of links to your missions, even though I didn't email you after last class, because you got those links. All right, so talk to me about the daily 10-4. So you guys had yesterday that you weren't in class. I want an honest discussion. Are you calling on the days you're not in class?
Yes.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
For me, no.
Okay, so it's mostly happening in class days.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, quite honestly, like I was waiting to get licensed before I had actual conversations. Like I was waiting for my license number to come in.
Okay.
So what I was doing was just setting up like contacts and.
Okay, so you can have conversations letting people know you're getting licensed.
Okay.
You can't actually
Yeah, that's what I've
sign
been doing. Yeah.
something, but there are actually strategies where people are having a bunch of conversations before the license comes in. Then when the license comes in, you got people you're working with.
Yeah.
Like that's how, when you hear about strategies of how do you get listings and buyers in 7 days after like newly licensed people.
Yeah.
It's because you've been working for the 30 before going, hey, I'm getting my license. Like, let's set up appointments for when I'm going to get my license, right? So I would say have those conversations. Do not wait to have those conversations. I mean, you're in an exciting stage right now.
Yeah.
Share that. Definitely. Have those conversations with people. Yeah. And it's almost, I mean, you can almost approach it from like, which one of my friends is going to lead me to my first sale?
Yeah.
Like, who's it gonna be? Who's gonna help me, right? And by the way, it doesn't have to be you buying or selling. It could be your friends or family buying or selling, right? Make it fun. You have that fun personality. Use that personality.
Okay.
Talk to people. Be like, okay, my license is coming in like any day now.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I'm like, oh, just
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah, but I wouldn't wait. I would just let people know. Say, I'm literally just waiting for the number. So I'm calling, and for it to post, which is gonna be super exciting. But as I'm waiting, let's talk. Like, who do you know? Who should, because I want to know. Like the day I get licensed, I want to have like 10 phone calls to be making to people who are going. All right, let's set your appointment.
Yeah.
Right. So create that energy around it. Why not? You will never have that energy again.
Yeah.
Once
right.
you get the license, then you have it. You know what I mean? So utilize it. Yeah, I would definitely be talking to people. 100%. I'd be talking to everybody.
Yeah.
If I could go back to that point, I'd be like, woo. So talk to me, Corey. How have your calls been going?
Pretty good.
Okay.
I've been reading through scripts with friends.
Good?
Yeah.
It's a good way to do it.
That's what I've been doing. That's what I did yesterday.
Nice. Do you have a script partner?
I just got Elton's information, so
Perfect.
We're
Do you
gonna
have a
start
script
with
partner, Gabriella?
I was script partnering with one of the girls from class, so
Okay. Are you still doing that?
I haven't.
Okay, so you want to create some consistency, and one of the things that will happen is you'll connect with somebody in class, and for some reason it won't continue. So if somebody's not showing up, get another person.
Okay.
And put it on your calendar,
Absolutely,
same time.
absolutely, calendar it for sure. So for you guys, because you're in class Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, you should be connecting with. No, is that right? Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yes, that is right. Sorry, get my weeks confused. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, got a script practice.
Okay.
And if somebody's not showing up, like I had to go through 4 in the very beginning. Cause I was very like,
To find someone
let's
reliable.
do this. Somebody who would actually show up and keep showing up consistently. It took me 4 people.
And it can be just a phone conversation.
Yeah, it does not.
And it makes
have
it
to be
more real because when you're face to face, you're also, you can see each other, and see your expressions. When you're on a phone, it gives you better practice because you have to have that smile on when you're talking on the phone, and because you don't see their, if you're with a customer or not too.
Yep.
And do your script practice. I would say, once you start getting into the business in the morning before you do your lead gen,
Yes.
because it's gonna put you in that mood for your plate for the day. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So initially for you guys, like your scripts are going to be you reading through the scripts, getting used to the ones that you choose to use, right? Then your script practice is gonna evolve into, like for me, I do open house objections. So like my script partner, like throw objections at me, like throw anything and everything you can at me. Like make it so that you will not give me your information. And then that's what my partner and I will work on, right? So I'm working on how do I handle that. Because then I'm at an open house and people are just like, they'll say one thing and I'm like, come on, you got nothing else? Like, I need you to object. I'm ready to play here. So you get good at those objections. That's why I bring up Dave Norberg. So he has a video where he calls for sale by owners. And he has a video where I think the guy says no to him 9, 10 times.
Wow.
And he just keeps going with the script. Just listening, going with the script. Dude started out homeless. He was like, I'm never gonna be homeless again. He's like, I will read any script if you tell me it works and I know people who've used it and it works, I will do it. And that's what he does. Just goes through the script. And he does a lot of business. I think he caps in like 2 or 3 months at the most. So there's people who are doing this and it works. All right. So we are going to do our lead generation for business. All right. Page 8, what does it say? What is our saying for the day, our message that we're reading to ourselves? In the mirror like the little girl, right, remember?
I
Easily
easily
find
find
motivated
motivated buyers.
Ooh, tell me,
I easily find motivated buyers.
tell me.
I easily find motivated buyers.
Give it to me again.
I easily find motivated buyers.
I love that.
I easily find motivated buyers.
Ooh, Cory, one more time.
I easily find motivated buyers.
And everybody.
I easily find motivated buyers.
I love it. You guys are so good. All
We
right.
may be a small group, but we're good.
Right, small but mighty. All
Force.
right, we're gonna call for, let's go 18 minutes, so 10 after. Come back to me at 10 after, and make your dials.
Hey, do emails count?
Do emails count? Did they reply?
Yes.
Did you talk about real estate?
Okay. All right.
Gotta be real estate conversation.
Alright.
That being said, I still would encourage, like we were talking about, initial conversations that didn't necessarily have real estate, but starting that conversation is completely fine.
Okay,
It just doesn't count.
as further.
Right, but it counts as you reaching out, so do
Okay.
it.